Alright, so we just got some big Record of Ragnarok news for the future of the series. So earlier this month, I talked to you guys about the preview for the next chapter, which read, "As soon as the 10th round is completed, various conspiracies begin to occur. That representative of humanity appears in front of goal." Now the key point that I want to highlight here is various conspiracies begin to occur. Now, first thing that comes to mind obviously is Odin, because he is the one doused in conspiracy throughout the series. But now, with the new information we got today from the new volume release of Volume 23, I think that it even more so points to Odin. The Volume 24 preview states, "The battle between Okita Tsuji and Susanoo has concluded. Then, the supreme god Odin, who holds all the keys, will see his deepest wish revealed." Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Well, is this just referencing chapter 88? Because chapter 88 is when we found out about the Primordials. That's when we kind of found out what the gist of Odin's dream was, to like revive these people. But no, chapter 88 wasn't even included in volume 23. Chapter 88 was included in volume 22. Volume 23 was 91 through 94. So this information is simply talking about what is going to be coming in volume 24. Now, the first chapter of that volume is going to be 95, the chapter we just covered, the concluding moments of the fight, but that leaves at least 3 more chapters of stuff that's going to pertain to something to do with Odin based on this. So it's kind of a spoiler, which is what the leaker's kind of saying, like, is this a spoiler that Odin is going to potentially be fighting in round 11? Which I talked about in my video earlier this month, that don't be surprised if Odin does go out there, because do not forget, Zeus was pegged to be the final fighter. It was not Odin on the initial blueprint. So Odin was never slotted to be the final fighter. Doesn't mean he can't be taking that position now that Zeus went out already, but he had a position that was preordained, meaning he could really pop out at any time. What I think that this could mean is, obviously after the aftermath of this fight, we still have to get the aftermath of Buddha, Beelzebub, and Odin's encounter. Zeus hasn't said anything about it thus far. I could definitely see a scenario where Zeus maybe encounters Buddha or encounters Beelzebub, and maybe he gets to talking with them and the conspiracy starts to brew about what Odin is planning, or if he has an interaction with Odin that goes into it, conversing. Maybe Hermes was spying on the interaction somehow. Maybe Hermes got the information somehow from somebody. But I do think that the conspiracy is going to be people are starting to catch on to what Odin is doing, and now Zeus is probably going to become privy to it. And don't forget, way back in chapter 34, when Zeus was talking with Odin after the encounter between the gods and the humans having their little scuffle, Buddha versus Loki's crew, he said to Odin, "Anyway, this Ragnarok is not going the way we expected now, is it, Norseman?" This, to me, seemed like there was a lot of subtext behind it. It seemed like Zeus was looking at Odin a little sideways. Maybe I'm just looking too deep into it, but obviously we saw Odin have his giant grin, letting us in on the fact that it is indeed going according to plan for him. But I do think that Zeus is suspicious of Odin, and I think that it's always been that way, especially when he has somebody like Hermes, who's a plotter in his own right, on his team. It also could just be Odin and Loki talking about what's going to take place and what their plan is going forward for the battles to come, as both of them are still yet to fight. So maybe we find out why Odin actually wants to bring the Primordials back. So in that chapter 88, when we got a lot of this information, it was stated that the primordial gods were born from the chaos of the beginning. They are the very origin of the universe, the creators of everything. They once ruled over the entire cosmos, and yet the primordial god's strength proved too strong even for themselves to bear, leading to their self-destruction, and thus they returned to the chaos of the beginning. Now, Beelzebub goes on to say that he discovered a forbidden book when he was researching Satan called the Book of Goldnir, which had Odin's name in the book, and it was a book transcribing how to revive the primordial gods, which means that they did exist. In that, the passage that talked about Odin stated, "At the moment the water of life is absorbed by the world tree, and Odin offers up his body with both eyes, the world will return once more to its origins." Now, I made theory videos talking about this at the time, but I think there's a slightly better translation here now. The water of life that is absorbed by the world tree. Is the water of life the green crystallization we've been seeing? Is this a sacrificial ritual that's happening in Record of Ragnarok? Is this leading to Odin sacrificing himself in battle, giving up his own body and losing a round of Ragnarok? That'd be insane. I do think that even if he doesn't lose, because it does say he's going to offer up both his eyes, maybe he loses both his eyes in his round. This is getting crazy, but we do have that big mystery, like where did those green crystals go? What even are those green crystals, and where did the souls of these people go after losing in Ragnarok? So I think that there could be a correlation, not saying that that's 100% true, it could end up being nothing. There's been a lot of things in Ragnarok that looked like they were going to have some kind of significance, like Leonidas' cigar, and it never did. So who knows? But I do think, obviously, sacrifice is required for whatever Odin is trying to bring about. And us finding out why he wants to do this and how he's going to do this is going to be insane. And if we're going to get this kind of revelation in volume 24, that means we're in for a treat in the coming months. Now, I don't know how deep it's going to get into it. For all we know, maybe there's just a slight hint or reference to what happened. So I don't know if it's going to be groundbreaking news, but this is very exciting news. Now, also in the volume release, we got a couple other cool shots of Susanoo and Okita, a new alternate cover for Okita for volume 23, as well as some other cool shots of Susanoo. We also did get the official English title for the Apocalypse of the Gods spinoff. It is officially called Record of Ragnarok Forbidden Side Story Gods Apocalypse, although I'll probably still reference it as Apocalypse of the Gods because I'm just so used to it at this point. There was a preview for that volume as well, because volume 1 of Apocalypse of the Gods did release as well this month. Volume 2's preview simply states that it's just going to cover round 2 of the tournament between Wukong and Prometheus, so nothing crazy there. We did get a new shot of a lot of the gods that we have seen so far that were in the promotionals. Indra looks really cool here, Kukulin, Ra, and we also get, in my opinion, the best shot of Wukong we've ever gotten, as well as another drawing for Morrigan. In the promotionals, it also says the first divine spin-off, meaning the first spin-off we've had relating to gods. So maybe with that wording, it tends us to believe that there may be more spin-offs to some of the other god characters that could have been fan favorites, like potentially Hades in the future, which I'm sure a lot of people would like to see. That was one of the rumors early on, that Hades was going to be getting a spin-off when we were trying to figure out what Apocalypse of the Gods was, but it never came to fruition. So I don't know. I know a lot of people were excited for that. But let me know what you guys think about this new volume preview. Do you think that it is a spoiler for things to come? Do you think that Odin is going to walk out there for round 11 and shake things up? Let me know all in the comments below and who you think he's going to fight. As always, I cover everything every single month, so stay tuned here if you want to keep up with all the news. Also, I'm thinking about opening up channel memberships to cover some of the content that you guys want to see, but it's not as big of an audience anymore, such as potentially a retelling and a commentary style rundown of some of the previous fights, because I still see people asking me to do Qin Shi Huang and Hades. I had already done them prior, but all those videos got deleted. So I could potentially redo some of the other rounds per request that you guys want to see in the same kind of format I do for my breakdowns, as well as potentially covering some of the other spin-offs, such as the Lu Bu spin-off and the Jack the Ripper spin-off that some people are interested in. That stuff would all be in the membership section if I was to go on and do that for the Ragnarok content. I'll probably do something One Piece related as well if I go on and do it. So let me know if you're interested in that in the comments below, and what kind of content would you like to see that's extra.